Hey guys, Midway Piper with you today. We're going to do another edition of Pipes and Books because, well, there's a lot of books to talk about. Now, first things first, housekeeping. Bert's back. There's a good reason for Bert being out here today, though. I'll explain that coming up shortly. In it, I have Watch City Cigars Viral Vanilla. It's pretty good stuff. I haven't tried too many Watch City cigar blends, but this one's not bad. Ahab's Comfort is up there as far as one of my top favorites, so take that for what it's worth. All right. So today we're going to talk about what I've been reading, because I finished a couple books. We're going to talk about what I'm currently reading and some books I picked up today. So let's get to it, shall we? Hold on a second. There we go. That's a little better. All right. So, books I finished. I finished that Frederick Bachman short story novella. Fantastic as always. Again, anything by Frederick Bachman, pick it up. It's worth reading, as far as I'm concerned. I have yet to be disappointed. So I finished that on my Kindle. The title is escaping me. It's And He Said No or something like that. Great book about a guy who wants to be a recluse and just plays video games, and life gets in the way for an absolutely ridiculous reason. Yes, Rooster, I'm home. Great short read. I believe it's only out on digital, so take that for what it's worth. If you have a Kindle, I do advise picking it up. So I finished that. I think I mentioned in a previous video, I finished A Cafe with No Name, so I didn't bring that out. I did finish Don Quixote. That's a big one. Overall thoughts on it? Good. Humorous, especially for the time. Could have been a hell of a lot shorter. Yep. I'll probably give it a 2.5, 3 stars out of 5. I think on Goodreads I gave it a 3. Being a little generous. So that's one book I finished. Next book I started and finished. The newest C.J. Box book, Battle Mountain. From the Joe Pickett series. C.J. Box, another fantastic author. Can't really go wrong with him. This Joe Pickett series is absolutely phenomenal. This is probably about a 8-hour. I did on audio. I do like the narrator. It's consistent throughout the entire Joe Pickett series. I think he does a pretty good job for all the characters. I'm used to hearing his voice for all the characters. So I think it's maybe 8 hours on audio total to finish this. So got through that pretty quickly. So that's what I finished. I don't know what my dog is doing. So what am I reading? I mentioned this in a previous video when I got it. And since I finished The Cafe with No Name, I decided I was going to pick up another one of Robert C. Thaler's books, The Tobacconist. So now that I'm a little ways into the book, I can... it's about a kid. His mom is... they live in a small village, and his mom has a relationship, shall we say, with a wealthy gentleman who dies in sort of a freak accident. And at his funeral, we discover that his mom was not the only one, shall we say, who was acquaintance of this wealthy gentleman. And when he died, their finances sort of dried up, shall we say. So the mother sends her son into the city to go work for apprentice under an old friend of hers who's a tobacconist. Hold on. All right, and through the magic of a pause button, I'm back. So anyways, she sends him into the city to work for an old friend, acquaintance of hers who's a tobacconist. And in the process, he meets the infamous Sigmund Freud, who pretty much tells him that he needs to go find a girlfriend. And he shortly thereafter falls in love with a girl. And well, that's where I'm at so far. So, The Tobacconist. So I'm reading that one, physical reading, not audio. It's not available on audio even if I wanted to. Another book I'm sort of dipping in and out of, I mentioned this in a previous video, Jefferson's Secrets. So this is about sort of the life of Thomas Jefferson. Sort of the behind the scenes thing, behind the scenes takes on Thomas Jefferson from his journals and things of this sort. Not his actual journals, but sort of analyzing him from his journals. So I'm just sort of getting in and out of this book every once in a while when I want something a little different to read than The Tobacconist. So Jefferson's Secrets, pretty good, pretty well written so far. So there it is. If anyone wants to check it out, I got this at a used library sale. Finally, the other book I'm reading, I'm doing this one on audio. Becoming Dr. Seuss. It's a biography of Dr. Seuss. This is a phenomenal book. I picked this up on Audible. It was a 2-for-1 sale initially, and I got one book that I really wanted, and I was like, I don't really like any other books, so this one seemed the most interesting, and it was essentially free, so I picked it up on Audible. I've mentioned before I like to have physical copies of most of the books that I read on Audible, and so I looked at the bookstore near me, and they just happened to have a copy of it, so I picked it up. And I'm actually further than that. I haven't updated my placement in it. I'm actually closer to being done with it. I might actually finish it tonight when I'm working at the gym. We'll see. If not, in the next day or two, I'll get this book finished. It is absolutely phenomenal, very well written. Brian J. Jones, very well written. I wasn't sure that a biography of Dr. Seuss would be really good. Phenomenal. So I'm currently wrapping that book. And then on the way home, because of that book, I stopped at the bookstore on the way home from work. After I work the gym tonight, I will be officially on my weekend, which is fantastic. I get 2 days off in a row, which is a very rare treat. Tomorrow I plan on doing some garden work, getting that prepped for the year, for the summer plantings and all that kind of stuff. I have to redo some fencing and whatnot, so more on that tomorrow, assuming I have time to make a video. But why I went to the bookstore. Now, this book, this Dr. Seuss biography got me excited about Dr. Seuss again. And so when I was there, I was looking for some new books for my son to read. He likes to go back to the same couple of books over and over and over and over and over again, and it drives me kind of insane. So, boom, The Cat in the Hat. Yes. He actually really likes, or did like, there was a Cat in the Hat show. He just hasn't watched it for a while. I'm sure he still likes it. So I got that. And The Cat in the Hat comes back. So that'll be exciting. Some new bedtime stories or something like that for him. So that's exciting. Now, along the same veins of the biography, popped up on my Audible, showing me what else is written by authors that I've been listening to. And this is the real reason I went to the bookstore today. Jim Henson. Yes, Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets, Kermit the Frog, all those kind of good things. The Labyrinth, that really weird, creepy, freakish movie. Also brainchild of Jim Henson. And like I said, the same author is becoming Dr. Seuss. Can you tell? They're kind of similar. Yep. So, I'm going to be starting this one soon. This is nostalgia for me right now. I was thinking about this before. Dr. Seuss, the creations of Jim Henson. When you're young, they're your life. At least they were for me when I was that age, when I was a young kid. And then you outgrow them. And then you have kids of your own. And it's a great excuse to get back into the things that you were into when you were a kid. And so this is just pure nostalgia for me. So I'm really excited to hop into this one soon and finishing the Dr. Seuss book. So those are fantastic. Really excited about that. I also wanted to pick up The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. You guys like that cover? How wonderful, how appropriate. Oh yeah, if you needed the Burt connection for why I'm smoking Burt today. Yeah, okay. I know, that's Ernie, got it, okay. But I got H.W. Brands, who's a pretty well-known history writer, is coming out with a biography of Mark Twain coming up shortly. And I don't really have any Mark Twain books, or any actually, until now. And so I was looking again on Audible, and one of these books, either that one or The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, I think it was this one. They're free download, and so I got it, and again, like to have a physical copy, and it just so happens that this is one of the Penguin Classic deluxe editions. I do like to get the deluxe editions of these because they always have cool artwork. So I got those two. And then the last one was a completely unexpected book. Completely unexpected. I actually was looking for the Jim Henson book. I had no idea where it would be in Barnes & Noble. The one, I looked on their website to see which of their stores had the combination of books. I wanted Huckleberry Finn, and I wanted the Jim Henson book. So I was looking at the inventories for local Barnes & Noble stores to see who had both in stock. And it just happens to be the newest Barnes & Noble that was built kind of near me. It's not really, but nothing's really out here near me, so I went over there. And they have one of the most confusing layouts of any Barnes & Noble store I have ever been into. It's nice, it's neat, but it was built into what used to be a pharmacy. And so it's kind of in a strip mall kind of deal, and it's just a really weird setup in there. Very confusing to me still. So I had no idea where I'd find the Jim Henson book. And looking, I came across something I really did not need. But did I pick it up? Yeah, I picked it up. A Fire in His Soul. Another book about Van Gogh. I really don't need another Van Gogh book. I really don't. I have several. You guys know I just finished reading one. And it's a big boy. But I picked it up anyways because it's a Van Gogh book. So this one seems to be about his time in Paris. So I'll read you what it's about real quick. Vincent van Gogh arrived in the French capital on the last day of February 1886, a month short of his 33rd birthday. Beaten down by life, ill, and nearly broken, he took refuge with his brother Theo, a successful art dealer, who nurtured him and tried desperately to redeem years of failure and frustration. In Paris, Van Gogh was reborn. He'd been a practicing artist for 6 years, but thus far his efforts were crude, murky scenes of peasant life that were both amateurish and hopelessly out of date. By the time he left, almost exactly 2 years later, he'd grown into one of the most original artists of the age, turning out hallucinatory works in vivid hues and stamped with his own distinctive personality. A Fire in His Soul, this book, is a story of a remarkable man, a remarkable city, and the creative synergy that challenged the course of history. Filled with tragedy and triumph, personal anguish, and creative fulfillment, it invites the reader to accompany Vincent step by step as he wanders the city with his paint box and easel, to peer over his shoulder as he reinvents himself as an artist of unparalleled expressive power. Along the way, we discover an unfamiliar Van Gogh, not the visionary hermit of the popular imagination, but a leader in the city's radical avant-garde. Here in the cafes and studios of Montmartre, in opulent galleries and low-life dives, he received a crash course in modernism. Working alongside the legendary figures of Gauguin, Lautrec, Seurat, Van Gogh unlocked his latent genius and launched an artistic revolution. So, that's that. That's another Van Gogh book for me that I don't have room for. Oh well. So, I thought I'd have to relight that. That's pretty impressive. Good job. So, yeah, that's a lot of books in a short period of time. But that's what I got going on. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm working tonight, and then I've got 2 days off of everything. So that'll be really nice. And, yeah, gotta do some work on the chicken coop, work in the garden. Maybe I'll do some work in the old garden, plant some things over there this year that I'm not super, I don't need as much supervision. My son wants to grow some watermelons this year, so maybe I'll do watermelons and Oh yeah, I was thinking about ordering some tobacco seeds. Give that a try. Who knows? We'll see. We will see. Anyways, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope all is well, and I will see you in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.